فتح.
يا السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام. بسم الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونشكره ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فهو المهتدي فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن هادي له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. ونصلي ونسلم على أشرف المرسلين إمام الأنبياء خاتم النبيين صلى الله عليه وسلم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبعث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. الحمد لله الذي شرفنا بالإيمان. الحمد لله الذي شرفنا بالإسلام. الحمد لله الذي شرفنا برمضان. الحمد لله الذي شرفنا بالقرآن. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على المصطفى وعلى آله وصحابه ومن اتبع بإحسان إلى يوم صفا صفا. We thank Allah. All praises are due to Allah, the Lord of the world. We thank Him. We praise Him. We also depend on Him. We also thank Him from the blessing of faith. We thank Allah for the blessings of Islam. If He has chosen not to make us Muslims, there's nothing that we can do, because He has let us know that when He was talking to Prophet Musa alayhi salam, He said, "Innaka lan ta'adi man ahbabta ba'da a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim." He said, "Innaka lan ta'hadi man ahbabta, walakin Allah yahdi man yasha." That you will not be able to guide anyone that you wish, to the right path. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. It is me, Allah, that guides anyone to the right path. We thank Allah. See, I think somebody was trying to talk to me. I'm not sure. Someone was trying to communicate with me. We thank Allah for the benefit of the faith that He has given us. Allah has given faith to different people. Different heads have different faiths. There are some faiths that believe in the Trinity of the omnipotence of our Creator. There are some sect of people that believe in the omnipotence power of sun, and other things, or other carvings of wood, or a river, or a mountain that they choose to worship. There are some that their own sense of omnipotence is actually null, which means they don't believe in any other power apart from the power of science, the power of what they can see. Still fuller, they've not been able to see beyond what their eyes can see. They can only see what is apparent to them. But alhamdulillah, Allah has been able to bless us with the virtue of faith that He gives to us, the Muslims, or the Mu'minun, to be able to believe that there is one other power that is out there, that is in charge of all powers that are everywhere. We thank Allah for this honor of faith that He has bestowed on us, the blessing of faith that He has given us. We also thank Allah for the blessing of Islam. Islam, as we know, is a way of life. See, if there wasn't Islam to teach us how to live our life, and for Quran to be the manual of instructions of how to handle every aspect of our life, then our life could have been as one of those lives that Allah has described in Surah Al-An'am. Said there are some people that live their life kal-an'am. And in other section of the Quran, Allah said that as well. That there are some people that live their life like that of animals. And if you take a look at it, those that are not believing in faith, or those that have come here to live their life, there's not so much of difference between them and animals. Some people just believe in coming to live. They don't even believe in reproducing anybody. That's the reason why they don't have any issue with having a fellow, somebody of the same gender as a partner. So they don't believe in things that Islam has ordained as a way to make the program of living go forward or set forth, right? They live their life in a way where they just come to live, have fun, and then die. Maybe when they get older, they start thinking maybe there's some power. They start becoming more nicer. They are a little bit, probably more religious for the ones that are lucky enough to have some kind of religious being, shown to them. But alhamdulillah, we are different from that. We also thank Allah for the virtue of Ramadan. See, Ramadan in itself has been what I could describe or what I could refer to as a religious or spiritual boot camp for 3 days, 30 or 29 days, where you and I get to rehash, take some steps back, and be able to say, okay, this is how we're supposed to be living our life. A lot of us have lived our life the past 4 weeks the way we were supposed to, the way Allah has expected us to, at least to some extent, not to a full extent. A lot of us, we've been able to observe our daily salawat on time. We've been able to have Fajr to Isha on time, where it's not necessarily the same in other 11 months. Ramadan is that comes and let us know what we're supposed to do. That comes as a kind of reminder to us to get us back to the way we're supposed to live our life. Because Allah shackles Shaitan. He put him on a chain so that he cannot affect any one of us in our mind, and then give us an opportunity to be able to do the righteous thing. We thank Allah for the blessing of Quran. Quran, as it has been said or described, as we all know, هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ. Right? It has been a guidance to the mankind, to the human race. And also from the guidance that he provides information that clarifies or distinguishes between right and wrong. between what it is and what is not. Yani al-Furqan. Allah also says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is the book, al-Kitabu لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, that has no doubt. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. It is the one that is set to provide guidance to those that are fearful of Allah. And who are these people? الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Those that believe in the ilm al-ghaib. The ilm al-ghaib right here is the notion of the existence of Allah and other things that Allah creates that we are not exposed to. The existence of Allah, alhamdulillah, is ilm al-ghaib because we don't see him. See, that's where we surpass the atheists, those that only believe in science. That's where we are, how we are better than them. Look at what science is doing to them now during COVID-19. I still wonder why science is not answering the questions. Given all these months that we're suffering through this, given all these months that thousands and thousands of people have passed away. See, this is where we are not a little bit, a lot more ahead of those that have those kind of thought. Those that have come to live their life and they only believe what they see. They don't believe, those that believe in the conscience, in the notion of that existence that we don't see. In Surah Al-Nahl, it said when he sees Surah Al-Nahl, Quran chapter 16, if you go ahead and check it out when anyone has the time, Allah focused a lot at the beginning of that surah, this section of it, a lot on how he blessed the whole world. When he started, Ata'amurullah falas tastajiluhu subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. But in that surah also, there is a section that said, it said, وَيَخْلُقُ اللَّهُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. أَوْ كَمَا قَالَ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. He said, and I created things that you don't know. And that's the reason why when you follow the Discovery Channel, you will see they will discover a new fish that they've never seen before. Now they're discovering another planet that is different from the number of planets that we learned when we were in high school. Now the number have changed. And there is still going to be the discovery of some other new element. For those of us that are close to science, in chemistry, there are new elements that are being discovered, different from the periodic table that we are exposed to in high school. Just imagine that. This is just a couple of decades ago that we were in high school. Now they're discovering all these things. Because Allah said, وَيَخْلُقُ اللَّهُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. I created things that you don't know about. And even when I had to say, أَفَمَنْ يَخْلُقُ, was talking to the kuffar and the atheists. The kuffar, those that, they are the different level of being a kuffar, right? We know that, right? He said, أَفَمَنْ يَخْلُقُ كَمَنْ لَا يَخْلُقُ. Do you want to compare he that can create, me, Allah, that get to create, that one of my personal characteristics, one of my personal, manner, what I do all the time, that I like to do, is to create. Afaman yakhluqu, do you want to compare he that can create? Kaman la yakhluqu, to that cannot create, like a man that cannot create, or a river that cannot create. Look at the kind of respect we give to fellow human beings. Look at the kind of respect we give to to our bosses at work. Look at the kind of regards we give to order, even our shuyuks. The kind of, some of us, we make the mistake, the regard we give, this is not for us to talk about sheikhs. I'm not saying we shouldn't respect our sheikhs, but some of us, the kind of respect we give to our boss, our sheikhs, or other people, something that we take much more seriously. If we can do that to Allah, Allah will be better off. And we know that because Allah said in another section of the Quran, right? He said, وَمَا قَدَرَ اللَّهُ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. He said this more than one section, more than one part. He said, and they didn't give the kind of regard they're supposed to give Allah, the kind of regard that he deserved. Like he was complaining. Like, can you see what people, the man that I created was doing? He said, وَمَا قَدَرَ اللَّهُ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. You can see that also in another section in Surah Al-Zumar, when Allah was going to start talking about how he was going to deal with those that are going to go into the paradise and those that are going to go into hellfire. But today we want to shift our paradigm. because we want to focus a lot about what comes after Ramadan. We spend our time, alhamdulillah, on Ramadan, and I can see, or I've been able to talk to a couple of people without asking them. Some people have told me that even this Ramadan has been among the best Ramadan they've had, by the virtue of they not being to move around as much, by the virtue of they having more time. They get to have more time now to pray all their 5 daily prayers on time. There's more time also to read your Quran. There's more time to do your azkar, to do your zikr, right? Someone was telling me he usually finish 1 Quran recitation per Ramadan. He was able to increase it to about 3 or more. And there are some people that don't get to finish the recitation of a whole Quran. They get to finish a whole Quran. See, Allah has his own reason. Anything Allah does, a situation that is very generic, like COVID-19 that we're dealing with, Allah has his own way. He has his own opportunity for blessing. That is to say in our language, Ọlọ́run ò lè ṣe nǹkan kó má fààyè ọpẹ́ lẹ̀. That's the reason why he's saying in the Holy Quran. He said, Asa an takrahu shay'an wa huwa khayrun lakum wa asa an tuhibbu shay'an wa huwa sharrun lakum. Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. He said, Asa, at times, an takrahu shay'an. The word right here, Asam, is perhaps, but we're not going to use the word perhaps because Allah knows what we're going to do. And you will be uncomfortable with something. You will not like certain situation, or in some cases, be disgusted about certain things. And this situation might actually be better for you. Because if we look at COVID-19 and other situations that Allah makes generic, like I said, يُدِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. Allah uses that as a way, at times, to perish or to lead a whole bunch of people astray, or to make a whole set of some people to be unsuccessful, or to perish them, or take them away, or let them be a part of that calamity. وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. Or make it as a guidance, an opportunity of success to some other people, right? I might put you in a situation where you are not comfortable with, and this situation might actually be better for you. Let's think about it for a second. This Ramadan, if we check it, if we have the opportunity to go around, we will have been able to see a lot of things that we don't like to see, be exposed to a lot of things we don't like to expose to, or engage in some activities, subhanallah, that Allah, we ourselves know are not necessarily good. And we know that Ramadan is not only about being able to stay away from food and drinks. That's just a section of it. That's just a percentage of it. The most part of it is abstaining for those actions. See, this COVID-19 has helped a lot of us to be able to attain this to a higher extent. Let's be frank. And you might like certain situation in life, and those might actually be bad for you. Right? We might want the freedom, but how about having a bad Ramadan? How about having a Ramadan that Allah might not accept? Why Yazubillah? May Allah accept all our ibadah, including our Ramadan. And Allah said, Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. I'm the one that know. You don't know. So we need to see it from that perspective. Alhamdulillah, a lot of us, we've been able to have what we can refer to, if not one of the best, at least one of the better of our Ramadan in our lifetime. So now we want to focus on, now Ramadan is gone. What are the things that we want to be able to do during Ramadan? After Ramadan. Now that Ramadan is gone, what are the things that we want to be able to be doing? Does it mean now that Ramadan is over, should we get back to our activities? We know the answer to that. What are the things that we need to do to still stay in check, to still remind ourselves of the real future? Like I always like to say, the future that we conceptualize within ourselves is not necessarily the correct future. The correct future is our days after our days on this planet. The future is not when we are in our 70s, 80s, in our senior ages, right? It's more about the days we spend in our graves and the day we're going to spend on Yawm al-Qiyamah and after Yawm al-Qiyamah. Because this, no matter how long you live on this planet, we know that it's a very, very minute percentage compared to the number of years that you're going to spend in your grave. A very good example is our great grandfathers, our mothers. Where are they now? They're still there living. They are still living, especially those that are pious, those that are religious, or those that die in the cause of Allah, because Allah said that. Allah said, that they are actually living. He said, don't say that don't ever say that those that died in the cause of Allah, not only those that died fighting jihad, those that died as good Muslims also, always doing jihad in the cause of Allah, however they do it. Don't call them, don't refer to them as corpse, as people that are dead, as the dead. They are actually living. They are living. So how do we get to this kind of state? I know Ramadan is one opportunity for that. A lot of us, we've looked into being able to attain Laylatul Qadr, for example, which is almost equivalent to 84 years, actually more than 84 years, because Allah said Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alf shahr. He said khayrun is not, he didn't say, he said it's more than 1,000 months, which is about 84 years, which means it's more than, keyword khayrun, it's more than 84 years. Now, that number of months that Allah gave to it, if it's 10,000 months, if it's 100,000 months, we don't even know. That means there is no one that can give the reward size of Laylatul Qadr. Hopefully, most of us, we are able to attain this, because most of us we're at home, and most of us were praying. So we've been able to work towards this as well, right? So hopefully that one stays as one reward in store for us. What do we do to keep those rewards not taken away? Because it could be taken away. The Holy Prophet ﷺ let us know that I feel bad. ﷺ was saying this. He said, I feel so bad for the most loser on the last day of judgment. Or he asked the Sahaba, do you know who the most loser is? The Sahaba says, we don't know, Ya Rasulullah. Said it is him that have all the rewards for having iman, for saying la ilaha illallah, saying subhanallah, for all his azkar, for his salawat, and also for his zakat, for his fasting, and going for hajj, and all his good deeds, and he still came bankrupt. And he said, let me show you how he could be bankrupt. Because on the last day of judgment, for every bad deed he does towards his fellow man or woman, not only a Muslim or not only a Muslim or a Muslimah, to a Muslim or a non-Muslim. That person gets to come and say, Mr. So, brother so did bad to me. It did XYZ to me. Or they get to show him that. Because all your information is going to be on your neck. Just like we have our badge on our necks when we go for convention or seminars. You get your information on your neck and you get to read it. Say, oh, you did in 2020, January, you did XYZ to someone, to so and so. Either he knows about it or he doesn't know about it. Allah will get some of that reward and give it to him. You know, so you that somebody is always doing bad things, to wait till Yawm al-Qiyamah, because you get some of this reward back. If you remember in the fifth Surah Al-Ma'idah, when Kabila was going to kill Habila, what did he tell him? He said, you are going to be the one that will get all my sins, that will be responsible for all my sins, for killing me, right? So getting back to our thought, what are the things that we get to do for all these rewards so that we don't lose it, so that we don't be among the losers on the last day of judgment? These are the things that we want to talk about. The first thing that, and then maybe if there is still time, then we can touch upon some other section of the Quran that talks about, that gives us instruction about what we're supposed to do as Muslims. There is a section in the Holy Quran that mostly all it talks about is just instructions, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. Some of us, most of us, we are familiar with this in Surah Al-Isra, Quran chapter 17, verse between 23 to 41. If you go ahead and take a look at this, you'll see it talks a lot about instructions from Allah, what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. If we can get to that. But real quick on Ramadan. So Ramadan is gone. What after Ramadan? The first thing that we need to do first is we go back to what Allah has told us. You want to first make for the days that you've missed. If you miss any days, because Allah said in the Holy Quran, after when He said to us how He has ordained Salat, Psalm, He said, Ayyama ma'adudatin فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. Said, Ayyamma ma'duda, the days have its own number. فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ. Whoever amongst you happens to be the ones that is sick, أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, or that is traveling, فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرَ. Make sure he makes up for those days that he missed. So that's number one item that we want to check out. So if you miss any days in Ramadan, maybe by the virtue of you being sick at among any one of those 30 days that just passed, you know to make it. Alhamdulillah, a lot of us are very familiar with this. We know this already. It is on you to make that. Or for our sisters, that there are situations that comes where we get to miss some days. We want to try to make this. Now, when do you make it? You want to make it before the next Ramadan. So which means you have a whole year. I will advise you don't want to try to make it now in Shawwal because of Sitta Shawwal that we are also going to talk about. Because Allah said, except for those of us, for those of us, there are some people that the sickness is just very bad. Maybe it continues. Like they can't afford to not eat for a long time. Then go ahead and feed someone that will appreciate the feeding. Don't go ahead and feed somebody that is doing very well financially. That doesn't mean so much to him. You giving him a 3 square meal. Someone that when you give a 3 square meal to, that person Yeah, we appreciate that. And Allah said, فَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا. Whoever does this in a good way, فَهُوَ خَيْرُ اللَّهِ. It's good for him. وَأَنْ تَصُومَ خَيْرُ لَكُمْ. But Allah said, right, actually fasting is what I want. So if you have the opportunity of paying it back with fast, He said He wants that. And why did Allah take this very important is Allah, of all the 5 pillars of Islam, especially like our salat, our zakat, and other actions, the angels, they get to write down, they get to take their account and give the report to Allah, right? A day before Jummah, on Thursdays. Only Ramadan that Allah said to the angels, don't worry about it, I will take care of this. This is me. He said, the old prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, Allah said to him that As-sawmu li, this Ramadan fasting is for me. Wanna ajizi bi, and I'm the one that gets to reward it. That's the reason why you not eating or not drinking is not necessarily the main aspect of your fast. It is what you think about. It is what you listen to with your ears, what you tend to look at with your eyes. And your brain tells you before you look at it. Your brain tells you before you listen to it. And when you're thinking about it, you have that feeling that this is not right. If you are a mu'min, a strong mu'min, to some extent, there are some thoughts that will come to you, even not during Ramadan, that you feel like, man, this is not good. During Ramadan, you feel it, you don't feel comfortable. It is those thoughts that you don't want to think about. Because Allah said in the Holy Quran, in this surah that we're going to talk about, right? It said, إِنَّمَا سَمَعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانُوا عَنْهُمْ مَسْئُولًا. Your sense of hearing, your sense of seeing, your ability to hear with your ears, your ability to see with your eyes, and also your ability to think with your heart. We are going to ask this part of your body on the last day of judgment. And not only this section, right? Because there's another part in the Holy Quran, in Surah Yasin, right? That let us know that we are going to ask your hands as well. اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون. اليوم نختم على أفواههم. The day that we are going to be feeding them. Look at the word that Allah, the phrase that Allah used. The day that we are going to be feeding them the information, because they don't want to see it. They don't want to listen to it. How many of us wants to go to the past? Anytime you talk to somebody, you try to get into the past. I don't want to talk about the past. Because the past is not necessarily bright, or was not necessarily bright. It's something that we would like to forget about. But Allah knows that about us, that our past, that we don't want to see, we are going to feed them. Information on what they are doing, on their deeds. Surah Yasin. And while we are feeding them, the way we are going to feed them this information, we're going to make their hands talk. So which means, I don't know what the scientists are thinking about, or those that are atheists, which means my ability to talk and you can listen to me has been proven, because there are some people that will open their mouth, they will talk, and you don't even understand what they're saying. They can't talk. Which means me talking is only by the might of Allah. He's going to change that might. Say, okay, hands, your mouth is not talking. Your hands start talking. Just imagine that. I know it doesn't make any sense to us. We can't think about it. We cannot conceptualize it in our mind. But it's going to happen. If he can make me talk and you can hear me, and some people open their mouth, use the same part of my body that they can't talk. And some people listen with their ears, they can't hear. And some people get to open their eyes, they can't see. So if he can do that, at least that's a scientific proof right there. For those of us that always like to deal with science, that he's going to do that. If he can do that, he can make your hands talk. وَتَشْهَدُ أَرْجُلُهُمْ, and he's going to make your feet that you use to walk to those places that you do all those good acts. So it's not only about the bad deeds, brothers and sisters. When the foot that you use, or your feet that you use to carry yourself to the masajid, or that you used to travel for Islamic seminars, or that you used to carry yourself to your work when you're doing your job. You get sawab for that. You get rewarded for that. Or that you used to go to Walgreens, Walmart to get things for your family. Allah, you get rewarded for that, for doing the right thing. So it's not only about bad things. So I said, on what they've done. So that is that, right? And then the other thing we want to take a look at is fasting in 6 days of Shawwal. I know some of us have started, some of us are looking to start. If you've not started this week, 1 week is almost gone by the end of this week. By Sunday, 1 week is gone. So you want to start because you have 6 days. Sitta Shawwal, like the Holy Prophet said it. You want to try to make it. It's not obligatory, but it's very, very beneficial. The Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he does this after each Ramadan. He said there was a very strong hadith that most of us know about. Said, "An Abi Ayyub al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu, anna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam قال من صام رمضان ثم اتبعه ستة من شوال كان كصيام الدهر." That the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying right here that whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan and then follow, and after that, right after the month of Ramadan, if he was able to fast 6 days out of the month of Ramadan, I mean the month of Shawwal, that person will be given a reward like somebody that fasted for the whole year. Look at how big that is. Which kind of deal will you go for in anywhere? Say buy 6 and get 3, the other 360 or 259, 259 free. That you wouldn't want to take it. Which kind of stock would you buy? They're paying $60 and you're getting about $360 back. And Allah does this for us a lot of ways. And that's the reason why the Holy Prophet ﷺ said he feels so bad. I mean, there was one strong hadith when the Holy Prophet ﷺ said Amin a couple of times. Said Amin a couple of times, and they asked him why. One of those, when he was saying Amin to Angel Jibril, alayhi salam, when he told him that woe be unto he on the last day of judgment, that all the benefit that Allah has given, all the opportunities that Allah has given for us to be able to enter paradise by the virtue of giving us a lot of opportunities for istighfar, or an opportunities to get a lot of thawab, get a lot of reward so that we can enter Al-Jannah. That woe unto he that still couldn't make it. The Prophet ﷺ said, Amen. Because Allah gave us a lot of opportunity. Look right here, 6 days, you get 300, you get the whole year. You get equal to 365 days. And the good thing about this is you don't even have to fast 6 days consecutively. You don't have to start on Monday and end on Saturday. You can have one today and another one. Like some of us have said, they will try to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday in one weekend, and then maybe the next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because it's easier, right? Because probably Monday to Thursday, it's usually busy, could be challenging to fast. So let's think about this. Other things that we want to focus on, that want to think about is still revolves around fasting. It revolves around fasting. The good thing that we know is after Ramadan. Now we are in the month of Shawwal. We are very close to Hajj. So we're close to the month of Dhul Hijjah. Being able to fast on either the 9th, the 10th, or the 9th and 10th, or 10 and 11. Just make sure that you have the day of Hijrah, the day of Arafah, excuse me. Either the day before Arafah and the day of Arafah, or the day of Arafah and the day after Arafah, right? The day of Arafah is 9th, either 10 and 9, right? Or you fast the day after that. So you always try to put the day of Arafah in the middle. And why did this happen? The old Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he went to Medina, he met the Yahudiyun, those that are Jewish, that follow Prophet Musa alayhi salam. He found out that they do fast on the 10th day of Arafah, right? Ashura, from the word 10, Ashura, right? 10, right? And he asked them, why are you fasting? They said they are fasting in retrospect to the day that Allah saved Prophet Musa from Fir'aun. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam let us know that, wow, this day, we are closer to this day. This day is much more important to us than you guys. And since then, the Prophet and his companion, they started fasting on that day or a day before or a day after. So you can pick whichever one you want. Okay. The other thing is we can do is fasting as much as possible in the month of Shaban when it comes. You can also fast in the month of Muharram. The month of Muharram is also is the month right after Dhul Hijjah, which is the 12th month is Dhul Hijjah, and the first month is Muharram. All these months, they are coming around because Ramadan is the 9th. We are on the 10th month right now. So if it wasn't for COVID-19, those that are going for Hajj will have been preparing themselves, will have been getting ready by now, going for Hajj. So after you finish your Sitta Shawwal, your 6 days in Shawwal, you still have other days also that you can use to fast. Another thing that we want to use as a way of getting close to Allah, retaining that bond with our Creator after Ramadan, while we wait for the other Ramadan to come, is fasting on the days that are known as Ayyamul Bid, or the white days. Ayyamul Bid, that's the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th day of every month in Hijrah calendar. So you can pick any month, for example. You go ahead and look at Hijrah calendar. It's very easy now. You can check this out on Google. Alhamdulillah. You check out, okay, which days falls to the 13, 14, and 15. The old Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam let us know that anyone that fasts on those 3 days gets the benefit of fasting for the whole month. Each day has the benefit of 10 days. 10 days. You see the reason why it's very hard for a Muslim to be in hellfire on the last day of judgment, because there's a lot of opportunities. So 13, 14, and 15 days of every month in Hijrah calendar. So that's one other opportunity that we can look at as well. Then also keeping on offering your tahajjud, replacing your tarawih, which is pretty much the tahajjud during Ramadan, with your tahajjud now. Not saying, well, Ramadan is over. Now, we don't have to do, we just focus on our obligatory prayer. No. Still keeping on with your tahajjud. Because Allah was the one that told the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to do it. He said in one section of the Quran that we are very familiar with, said, "Qum al-layla ila qalila." Wake up just for a little section of the night and make salah. And in another section, in Surah Al-Isra again, said, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدُ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ عَسَىٰ أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. So وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ, among your nights, فَتَهَجَّدُ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ. Stand up and make tahajjud. That's the word tahajjud. فَتَهَجَّدُ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ. This tahajjud will be something for you as a reserve, a benefit for you that is different from the benefit of the 5 daily prayer. عَسَىٰ أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. Maybe, or Allah will make you, أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا, will make you, will rise you amongst those that are pious, those that are successful. That's the reason why if you are among the ones that make tahajjud, those that are very good in making tahajjud, they are usually very successful. And then you want to make it at the time that Allah specified, believe in Surah Al-Muzammil or Surah Al-Mudaththir, towards the end. You know, in the section where the third section, Suluthai Layl, the last third section, the part of even that has been proven scientifically that is the hardest time for people to wake up towards Fajr. So what I can give out as an advice is you can set your time 30 minutes before Fajr or 45 minutes. You wake up and make your tahajjud. Because this time Allah usually comes down, descends down towards the heart and asks people, who wants my blessing? Who wants my maghfirah? Who wants my forgiveness, to ask? And I'm willing to give it now. Is specifying the Holy Quran, you know. So making tahajjud is something that is very, very important. And all those actions again that we've ascribed to during Ramadan that we do, let's do more of it. Like taking care of the poor and the needy. You know, all that you're doing during Ramadan are to remind you of what you're supposed to do in the other 11 months. Giving to the poor is not only for Ramadan. Putting money into the masajid for them to run, for the administrator to run the masjid, is not only for during Ramadan, because a lot of us we make that mistake. We only want to spend during Ramadan and that's it. We only want to be nice during Ramadan and that's it. We only want to do good things during Ramadan and that's it. Then after Ramadan, it's like, okay, Ramadan is over. Let's get back to business as usual. What is business as usual? Doing all the bad things? When Allah said, وَمَا خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا فِي إِنَّا لَعِبِينَ. We didn't create this earth and the heavens and what is inside them. The 7 heavens and the 7 earth, we didn't create them la'ibin. We didn't create them for you guys to come and have fun. We didn't create them to come and have fun. Let's look at it. We've tried to have fun as much as we can. What has it got us? We are always going to be chasing satisfaction. Look at what you think was going to be a satisfactory level 40 years ago. You were thinking, oh, if I can get X, A, B, C, I should be fine. This is it. Now you have A, B, C. Are you fine? A lot of us before, when we were back in Nigeria, we were thinking all we need to do is make it to the United States and everything is fine. We made it to the United States, we realized that we needed documents to be able to work. We're thinking all we need to do is be able to get our papers. Alhamdulillah, I don't even need it. Just get me the papers and I'll be fine. I'll be the happiest person. We have the paper. Now, then we were living in the studio or 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, I need to get a house. Now we get a house. We want cars. We have a regular car. We want the best cars. Now we have best cars. We have best of everything. We want more money. And we get more money, right? We keep chasing it. Then Allah comes to you. When are you planning to stop? أَلْهَاكُمُ التَّكَاثُرُ. When are you planning to stop? Go and check that surah. Surah Al-Takathur. It was a question from Allah. حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرِ. Is it when you get into your grave? Is it when you get into your grave? كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah said, oh, don't worry. You don't want to stop? Don't worry, there's going to be a day that you stop. Because كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. You are going to stop. You're going to know. ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Like a parent talking to a child. He said, you are ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Even I repeat it again, you're going to get it. May Allah not let us be among those that Allah is talking about. Because what he said after that is not something that we want to get into, that we want to be a part of. If you go ahead and check Surah Al-Takathur. So my brothers and sisters in Islam, Ramadan is over. Ramadan came to remind us of how we're supposed to live our life. It wasn't there just for us to get good deeds, to do all the good deeds and get all the rewards. Yeah, that is part of it. That's a huge part of it. Get all the rewards and keep it going. Get all the rewards and keep it going. Actually, to me, practicing everything in Ramadan is easier than keeping everything after Ramadan. Because now Shaitan is not under shackles anymore. He's been waiting for the past 30 days. Now he's back. May Allah not let him be able to gain us or be of gain of us. May Allah not let him be able to count us among those he said he was going to lead astray. Because he said he's going to do that. Allah said, I will give you the chance to do that. Look at Allah. But they said, I'm going to إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ رَبِّي, except for those that I bless. Right? So may Allah count us among those he has blessed, away from the evil of Shaitan. You know, one thing I'm going to leave us with today is we need to take Shaitan as an enemy. Why? Because Allah said is one of our enemy. Okay? Allah said, Inna shaitan aduwwu fattahfizuhu aduwwan. Shaitan is your enemy. Make him as one of your enemy. Okay? So let's take this as a way, as something that we'll take with us today, inshallah. May Allah make it easier for us. Also, as we're seeing on the screen, some of the things that we want to do that we talk about is still keep on the donation for the masjid, donation for others that you think that need, people that are not asking you, that you know are sovereign, give it to them. The good thing is NIA has a way of reaching out to these people as well. So if you want to reach out to the community, you can also reach out through NIA. Alhamdulillah, I can testify to this. They do distribute, and some other Islamic communities that you know of. If you don't want to give it to any Islamic leaders, call somebody, surprise him or her with a Zelle message, and a lot on his or her Zelle account, if you know that he needs it. That's what we're all about. May Allah make it easier for us, make us among the best Muslims. Allahumma ajirna minan nar. Allahumma ajirna minan nar. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا الله يا أحد يا واحد يا موجود يا جواد يا باسط يا كريم يا وهاب يا ذا الطول يا غني يا مغني يا فتاح يا رزاق يا عليم يا حكيم يا حي يا قيوم يا رحمن يا رحيم يا بديع السماوات والأرض يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا حنان يا منان نفينا منك بنفعة خير تغني بها عما سواك إن تستفتحوا فقد جاءكم الفتح إنا فتحنا لك فتحا مبينا نصر من الله وفتح قريب اللهم يا غني يا حميد يا مبدع يا معيد يا ودود يا ذا العرش المجيد يا فعال لما يريد اكفنا بحلالك عن حرامك وأغننا بفضلك عما سواك واحفظنا بما فزت به ذكرى وانصرنا بما نصرت به رسلا إنك على كل شيء قدير. تعزات بزيزة والجبروت، واتصمت برب الملكوت، وتوكلت على الحي الذي لا يموت. اللهم اصرف عنا هذا الوباء، وكنا شر الرداه، ونجنا من الطعن والطعن والبلاء، بلطفك يا لطيف يا خبير، إنك على كل شيء قدير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. صحابي كريم.
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Thank you very much, and may Allah reward you abundantly. So we always enjoy you here, and Allah will increase you in knowledge. So, like he said, we still need a lot of support for our projects. So, you all know where to send the money. I'm going to share it one more time, especially for those of you who needs to pay for your insurance. That is where it goes. NIA Insurance 2019@gmail.com. Thank you all. You can always self-pay any fund to NIA funds at Nigeria Islamic Association.org. And I thank you all very much for coming up. Abba Fatai, thank you. May Allah reward you.
Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.